name's Glenn Archer. I'm from Canberra, ACT. Got my RA28 Celica here that we drove up over the last couple of days. Left work on Friday and just sort of took our time. Went halfway on Friday night and then the rest of the way on Saturday. So it started out with the drivetrain from a Sora. We got a 1J and an A340 Auto out of that. It went in the car for probably 12 months with the standard computer, and then it got, a boost controller and a fuel cut defender, and then changed to like a piggyback computer, and then that wasn't enough, so then, single turbo, then onto standalone management, and then all the pistons ended up in the sump. And after that, a few times, had a few tuning issues, and picked up a NA 2J bottom end out of a Supra. You can pick them up for $2.50 now because it doesn't have a turbo and people don't want it. Bolted my head onto that because I'd already put cams in it, I'd already built my own exhaust manifold, all the bits and pieces, made the rocker covers fit with breathers and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, made a hybrid out of those two, 1.5J, and yeah, that's how it sits now. My drag racing experience is not a whole lot. I've been to Sydney once on a proper prep track. I've been to Toyota Nationals for a few years where they run Wellington Airstrip, which is just like a little goat track in the middle of nowhere. And you can see the track, like it's going up and down, the whole thing's gravel, so you just wheel spin the full length of it, and it's only 1/8 mile. Went to Sydney, ran a 10.7 at 134 mile an hour, which is apparently good for a 9-second pass according to everybody else. Worked out that the two-step that I'd set up on it worked okay, but it didn't launch well. The car would roll out half a car length and then all of a sudden it would disengage two-step, and that was just coming down to road speed settings. Yeah, expectation for the week would be to make it to the end. I've driven the car heaps, like I drive the thing to work as often as I can. I love it, Takes a lot of my time. Partner knows I spend a lot of hours in the shed and a lot of hours after work. Just tinkering, try and make it as street friendly as I can, because I want to do events like this where you can just chuck a trailer on and go and drive for whatever it was, 1,300 Ks or something for us to get here, and then go and race all week. If I can run a 11.5 or something all week and drive home again at the end, I will be cheering. Engine-wise, it's got an NA 2J bottom end out of a Supra. I just pulled it all apart. It's the first time I've rebuilt an engine, so it was just a freshen up. I got a hone, some new rings, cleaned the pistons, cleaned everything up, put it back together. Even the bearings were within tolerance, so everything went back together. I bolted my 1J head on. There's an oil gallery that has to move like 3 millimeters, so it was just a matter of tigging that up, drilling it on a bit of an angle, and then banging that back together with a genuine Toyota head gasket. The gearbox is an A340. It's basically had everything that can be done to it now. It started as a standard thing, and then I put a converter in it and a valve body, and then it's been back to MV in Adelaide, and he actually ripped the whole thing down, and the only thing we didn't change was a Sprag clutch. I do drive it on the street, so being out of engine brake is kind of nice. Two-piece tail shaft, just a custom job, and then the diff is a Borg-Warner 78. I actually got that out of the VP wagon, and then we shortened that down, just put billet axles in it. I did have one of the cone type LSDs from the Commodore in it. It was horrendous. Anytime it'd get untidy, it was just so unpredictable as to where it would go. I've now put a full spool in, which is ugly for the street and pulling into car parks, but predictability, like every time you get on it, you know exactly where the car's gonna go, which is, yeah, that's handy.